This is coming from Ken talking to Gypsy. Quote, I wish that she had gotten through this divorce process before this happened, end quote.
Now,
Go ahead.
well, because it could be edited. They could be talking about something else. Like she waited for, something else besides getting pregnant. It could just be edited to make it sound like that. But if it is that, well then duh, dude, you were there. You were at Jizz Fest, okay?
Yeah, I can't imagine it being an actual pregnancy. That makes no damn sense because it takes two people to get pregnant. And you can't just get pregnant on your own. So I mean,
so there's a couple theories here when his quote is saying, I wish that, actually he says, I wish you, he's talking to Gypsy here, I wish you had gotten through the divorce process before this happened, before you got pregnant. That's one line, but it says a hell of a lot. I mean, I kind of curious as to what came before that and after to get more context.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard's life has become a growing concern, with her behavior spiraling further each day. Despite her claims of prioritizing family and stepping back from the social media, her actions suggest a different story. Gypsy's obsession with public perception has overshadowed the responsibilities she now faces as a mother and partner. Her newborn Aurora and her relationship with Ken should be her primary focus, yet she appears more invested in controlling her narrative online. Let's explore how Gypsy's choices reveal a pattern of seeking validation and shrinking accountability, painting a troubling picture of her priorities. In the weeks following Aurora's birth, Gypsy promised to step away from social media to focus on motherhood. Yet, she was back online almost immediately, flaunting her postpartum recovery and seeking affirmation. Her posts focused heavily on how quickly she bounced back physically, with captions that seemed crafted to invite compliments. She posted photos and videos showcasing her body post-delivery, emphasizing her appearance rather than embracing her role as a new mother.
How am I feeling postpartum? Good. The first few days were a little overwhelming, but Ken was absolutely so supportive. I didn't have postpartum depression, but I did go through a little bit of postpartum anxiety, which I think is absolutely, normal for a first-time mom. You look at all the things that could go wrong and it kind of freaks you out. Even when you're in the car, you're like, oh my God, there's cars passing by. Like it's overwhelming a little bit. But I've adjusted, like my hormones have leveled out now.
The unnecessary display came across as a deliberate attempt to shift the conversation to her looks rather than her responsibilities. Additionally, Gypsy shared intricate details about her delivery, including the use of an epidural and how smooth the process had been for her. These details serve no purpose in connecting with her audience about the realities of motherhood or celebrating her baby's arrival. Instead, they appeared as a defense mechanism aimed at quelling circulating rumors about her delivery experience.
A little controversy about her postpartum picture. Have you seen that on TikTok?
I've seen nothing the last few days.
Okay, well, apparently somebody did some research and it looks pretty legit to me. Her postpartum body, a week after.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah, I do have that video lined up. Yep.
Her focus on controlling this narrative rather than cherishing the milestones of her newborn's first weeks paints a picture of someone more preoccupied with public perception than with intimate responsibilities of parenting. This incessant need for validation reveals a deeper issue. Gypsy prioritizes her image over her responsibilities. While most new mothers devote this time to bonding with their baby, Gypsy's energy is spent combing through comments, replying to strangers, and defending her decisions to the public.
May I ask, have I missed anything? Like, what is justice for Aurora? What's that about?
That I don't know. Some people were saying that, but I get it. I understand why people would want justice.
Oh my God, you have a Katie Joy emoji now.
Yeah, it's new.
Her behavior highlights a persistent self-absorption that raises significant concerns about her commitment to motherhood and the stability of her growing family.
When I look at my little girl, it brings up a lot of emotions about my mother. And it's hard to look at this little innocent baby and know that I was once a little innocent baby. And I don't understand how parents could hurt their kids. I just don't.
GYPSY's recent actions involving money further exposed her flawed character. During a live session, she openly celebrated receiving funds that a hacker had collected during online interactions. She brazenly labeled the situation as karma, delighting in the irony that the money came from her critics. GYPSY's glee over this win was both unsettling and revealing, as it highlighted her willingness to benefit from ethically questionable circumstances without a shred of effort or remorse. Her reaction made it clear that she was more focused on reveling in the superficial satisfaction of being vindicated in the eyes of her supporters than on reflecting on her morality of the situation. The lack of introspection only deepened the concerns surrounding her judgment.
I had told the hacker, I'm like, I will get my account back. Like, rest assured, I will get my account back. And he tried to sell it to me for $400. I was like, no, I'm not paying for my own account. I'm going to go about it the legal way and contact TikTok. And Ken helped me out with that. Because there's like several email addresses that you could email TikTok, but they don't they don't respond back to you very fast. So Ken was able to find like where you put or like report a ticket or put a ticket in, a problem ticket. And so he helped me with that. And I had got a response back from them saying, if you give us the email that was attached when you created the account and all this kind of stuff. And thankfully I knew all that because I'm the owner of the account. So I got my account back, and I mean, at least it's not in the hands of a scammer. I think it was heartbreaking to kind of watch all these people just kind of like go bananas trying to buy my account, which I'm pretty sure is illegal.
This disturbing pattern of entitlement goes far beyond financial matters and deeply into her personal relationships. Throughout her life, GYPSY has shown a tendency to rely on others to carry the weight of responsibilities while she enjoys the benefits, whether it's her family, friends, or now her partner Ken. GYPSY's inclination to shift burdens has been a consistent theme. This deeply ingrained habit has carried over into her new role as a mother, where the demands of parenthood require not just physical effort but emotional investment and a willingness to put someone else's needs above her own. GYPSY's actions suggest she is still far more invested in receiving validation and affirmation than in embracing the sacrifices and the dedication required by motherhood. Parenthood is inherently about giving, but GYPSY's focused on taking raises significant concerns about her ability to provide the nurturing environment her child deserves. How can someone so consumed by self-interest truly step up to meet the selfless demands of being a parent? The answer to this question seems increasingly grim.
Just imagine just waking up with Gypsy Rose Blanchard standing over you out of a dead sleep. Like, that's scary.
Oh God, don't do that. She likes the drama. She likes them like being like, oh, I want you. No, I want you. That's what she likes. It's weird.
The carrot and stick game, as she calls it.
Yeah, exactly.
What were you saying, Cobox? I think you were trying to say something there.
Oh yeah, if I was to wake up with Gypsy next to me, I wouldn't need to watch a horror movie ever again. That's all I would need to see.
With her making that face in the promo with the chins.
Oh my God, yeah, it's so bad.
In a live session with her friend Brie, GYPSY attempted to deflect criticism by blaming Ken for sharing their baby's birth announcement. She claimed he insisted on posting the news, despite his well-documented aversion to social media. This contradictory statement highlights GYPSY's tendency to shift blame instead of owning up to her decisions. By placing the responsibility on Ken, GYPSY not only evades accountability but also perpetuates a troubling dynamic in their relationship. Ken, it seems, has been regulated to a scapegoat for her missteps, a role that undermines any sense of partnership and mutual respect.
This is coming from Ken talking to GYPSY. Quote, I wish that she had gotten through this divorce process before this happened, end quote.
Now,
go ahead.
well, because it could be edited. they could be talking about something else. Like she waited for, something else besides getting pregnant. It could just be edited to make it sound like that. But if it is that, well then duh, dude, you were there. You were at GYPSY test, okay?
Yeah, I can't imagine it being an actual pregnancy. That makes no damn sense because it takes two people to get pregnant. And you can't just get pregnant on your own. So I mean,
so there's a couple theories here when his quote is saying, I wish that, actually he says, I wish you, he's talking to GYPSY here, I wish you had gotten through the divorce process before this happened, before you got pregnant. That's one line, but it says a hell of a lot. I mean, I kind of curious as to what came before that and after to get more context.
GYPSY's manipulative tendencies do not stop with Ken. In another instance, she publicly accused her stepmother Christy of suggesting that they sell pictures of Aurora to preempt unauthorized releases. By sharing this private conversation, GYPSY framed Christy as money-driven and untrustworthy. This revelation served no constructive purpose, but rather seemed designed to garner public sympathy, while preemptively justifying any future actions involving her child's image.
So it wasn't until he's like, I just want to post a picture on my Instagram. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, first of all, which one? Because I don't want to show her, because I was very, protective, and I still am very protective. So I was like, I want to make sure that we agree on the picture. He's like, do you want me to tag you in it? I'm like, no. This is, and essentially, this is what you want to do. It's your Instagram. I'm not going to tell you how to run your Instagram. All I'm going to say is my input on which picture that I think we could both come to an agreement on, to where it's still protecting her, but you can still have your moment to where you can announce as a proud father.
GYPSY's willingness to exploit personal relationships and air sensitive details for her narrative is deeply concerning. It reveals an unsettling pattern of manipulation aimed at maintaining her public image, regardless of the consequences for those around her. GYPSY's penchant for bending the truth is evident in her interactions with critics. When called out for inaccuracies in her memoir, she attempted to shift the blame onto her busy filming schedule, claiming that the ghostwriters were responsible for the errors. This explanation, however, lacks credibility, particularly when one considers the considerable time and effort she dedicates to monitoring and responding to online criticism. Instead of using this energy to self-reflect or address the genuine concerns of her audience, she appears fixated on justifying herself with excuses that only deepen the skepticism surrounding her honesty. Her approach to criticism underscores a troubling avoidance of accountability. Rather than owning up to the inconsistencies in her memoir, GYPSY chooses to engage in petty disputes and deflect responsibility.
What is one thing that you hope that people take away from the book?
I really hope people take away from the book, like the point of the book is not to rehash my story.
Okay.
The point of the book is to give hope to the people that are currently going through my story.
Right.
People that have no idea what Munchausen by proxy is, because I didn't. Mm-hmm. People that are in domestic violence relationships, they could relate to the mindset that I was in.
Absolutely.
I don't ever want people to read this and be like, oh, I am inspired to go commit a crime. That is not the point of this book.
Right.
So the point of this book is about survival.
Mm-hmm.
And whether you have been through domestic violence, sexual abuse, child abuse, I feel like we are all part of a family in a sense. It's a camaraderie. We could understand each other's thinking. Mm-hmm. And so this is simply a book of hope.
This pattern not only erodes her credibility, but also distracts from what should be her primary focus, her family. The time spent obsessing over public perception and crafting defenses could be better invested in strengthening her relationship and embracing the challenges of her new role as a mother. Unfortunately, her actions suggest a preference over confronting the realities of her life.